Hey everyone, it's been a minute. I'm your host Kavya Bhardwaj and you're listening to the Teen Take. Now, before we dive into today's topic, a quick life update about the podcast. This is actually going to be one of the last few episodes of season 2. And I know that's super crazy, right? But don't worry, season 3 is already in the works and it's going to double down on the exact format we are using today, which is finding the massive world shifting ideas hidden inside smaller news stories. It's all about realizing there is so much more happening behind the scenes than what we just see on our feeds. Today is just one example of that, and trust me, we have a lot more incredible content coming your way soon. So let's talk about something that's been blowing up my feed and probably yours too lately. If you follow the recent state elections in India, especially in places like Tamil Nadu and West Bengal, something wild happened. In Tamil Nadu, the massive film star Vijay made headlines, bringing insane mass attention to the political stage. It went viral instantly. But it also left a lot of people asking a really heavy question, which is that why is sheer popularity becoming the ultimate credential for running a state or a country? This isn't just an India thing either. It's a massive global trend. Think about Vladimir Zelensky in Ukraine. Before he was a wartime president, did you know that he was a literal comedian and actor playing a president on TV? In Pakistan, Imran Khan became a legendary national icon through cricket long before entering politics. In Nepal, which was a previous episode of ours, popular rappers and musicians are running for office and pulling in massive youth followings. From actors in the US to soccer stars like George Weah in Liberia, cultural fame has become the ultimate fast track to political power.
Keep me rocking at the same time. When we get high, in my breakdown. We're just watching from the same time. But that don't change.
So, why is this happening right now? Well, the thing is, our media landscape is practically built for it. Social media rewards individual personas, not dense policy booklets. We recognize faces and charisma over 50-page manifestos. And plus, let's be honest, a lot of people have lost trust in the traditional political institutions. When the old school parties feel broken, an outsider who promises to disrupt the system looks incredibly attractive. And you know what? There is a genuinely good side to this. Let's look at the positives first. Politically and socially, celebrity outsiders can act as a massive jolt of adrenaline for democracy. They bring totally new voices into spaces that usually feel gatekept by old politicians. They have the power to instantly shine and a spotlight that can be given on neglected issues that the mainstream media ignores. And arguably the best part, they make politics feel relevant to us. To teenagers and young voters who might otherwise completely tune out, when a creator or an icon you look up to starts talking about civic engagement, suddenly politics isn't boring anymore. It's happening in real time on your feed, and it makes you want to participate. But here is where we have to look past the glitz and the glamour, because this trend carries some really serious risks. And this is where the politics, the ethics, and the economics all collide. Ethically and philosophically, when fame replaces actual policy, campaigns begin to stop being about ideas and start being about branding. We trade deep, meaningful debates about governance, budgets, and long term planning for catchy slogans and viral spectacles. It creates an environment of populism where leaders guide the public using pure emotion and personality rather than respecting the checks and balances that keep a democracy safe. And structurally, the economic consequences of this are massive. When a leader is elected purely based on charisma, it often leads to what economists call policy volatility. Basically, things become totally unpredictable. If a leader starts changing tax laws or trade rules on a whim just to keep their followers happy online, it spooks international markets and investors. If investors don't trust a country's stability, they pull their money out, borrowing costs go up, and economic growth slows down. On top of that, popular leaders face intense pressures to maintain that popularity. This often leads to something called clientelism, which is a fancy way of saying politicians giving out short term favors or funding flashy, highly visible vanity projects to look good rather than investing state budgets into structural development like schools, healthcare, or infrastructure. We've seen versions of this play out globally. Imran Khan's meteoric rise completely shifted Pakistan's international relations and economic priorities, which created a wave of volatile investor sentiment. In Ukraine, while Zelensky's immense popularity was an unbelievable asset for rallying international support during wartime, it also highlighted a massive challenge: the urgent need to build strong, independent institutions behind the leader so that popularity actually translates into effective everyday governance. So, what's the bigger picture here? What is the real story behind the news? We are watching a fundamental transformation in how political power is won. Politics has officially fused with entertainment and influencer economy. While that makes democracy feel way more dynamic and accessible to people like us, it also threatens the very institutions we need to solve complex socio-economic problems. To fix this, we don't need to ban celebrities. We just need to change how we engage. We need to build up our own civic media literacy, learning to demand concrete plans instead of just double tapping a punchy soundbite. We need political parties to groom leaders based on actual competence, not just how well they perform on camera. At the end of the day, a viral election might look good and exciting on your feed, but real change happens in the unglamorous deep work of policy and governance. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of The Teen Take. If this made you think about the news a little differently, definitely go ahead over to our Instagram and give us a follow at theteentake_org for more updates, breakdowns, and behind the scenes content. Thank you so much, guys, and I will see you in the next episode coming very, very soon. Enjoy the rest of your week. Bye bye.